Hey, what's going on, y'all? Big Sarge here. Sometimes unanswered prayers could be a blessing in disguise. Houston Rockets fans, how many of you all remember this?
Thanks so much.
Pray for Victor.
That's right. That's none other than Houston Rockets owner and future ambassador to Italy, Tillman Fertitta, saying pray for Victor. And that Victor in which he speaks of is current San Antonio Spurs forward Victor Wenbamyama. Now, everybody knows how the story goes. Everybody knows that Houston was in line to get the number one overall pick in the 2023 NBA draft. And when the lottery happened, the Houston Rockets didn't get the first overall pick. They got the fourth overall pick. And Houston Rockets fans, I know that you'll never forget this moment right here, will you?
The Houston Rockets.
See, Victor never wanted to be here, right? And so those prayers were falling on deaf ears because the blessing in disguise at the number 4 overall pick was this young man right here. Which makes me wonder, okay, San Antonio, taking Victor, that was obvious. But then Charlotte, you took Brandon Miller, who I don't think is going to be a bad player. I think that he has the intangibles to be a very good player. Don't get me wrong. So I could see that. And then the Portland Trailblazers took Scoot Henderson. And I know we're playing hindsight is 2020, but they took Scoot Henderson over Amen Thompson. Well, somebody in the Houston Rockets organization had to be praying. Somebody in the Houston Rockets organization knew what they were going to be able to get at the 4th overall pick. They were ready. They were ready to make that pick. So somebody in between General Manager Rafael Stone and head coach Ime Udoka and the assistant coaches and the scouts, I mean, they knew exactly who they wanted and they got exactly who they needed. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to say, Sarge, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Victor Wenbamyama would have been great for the Houston Rockets. And I said that too. No, I don't know about that. I think that Victor Wenbamyama is a very, very talented player. I think that Victor Wenbamyama could potentially be the face of the league. I just don't think he could have been the face of the league for the Houston Rockets. And if you look at what the Houston Rockets have done, right? Number 2 in the West, won the Southwest Division, won over 50 games, went to the playoffs for the first time since 2019. And the way that team is currently constructed with Amen Thompson, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, you look at what the Rockets did by getting Jalen Green and Alperen Sengun. And then they added to that by getting Tari Eason and Jabari Smith Jr. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then they went out and they drafted. Before they drafted. No, was it before? Well, anyway, they drafted Amen Thompson, right? They drafted Amen Thompson to go along with the Jeff Green, with Dylan Brooks, with Fred VanVleet, and then ended up getting Steven Adams down the line. That combination right there, right? You put those players to the side and you take Amen out and you just saying, okay, there's still something missing. He was the missing piece to what the Houston Rockets was trying to do in that rebuild. So you insert Amen Thompson into the rest of that puzzle and it's complete right now. Because the things that Amen Thompson brings to the court is way more than what I feel like Victor Wenbamyama would have done for the Houston Rockets.
Love it, man. I really like to watch him, his aggressiveness, first of all, defensively, like you know who he is, but that doesn't always translate for a player on the other end of the floor. And to Ime's credit, like his staff has unlocked part of him. It's like, because you don't shoot the 3 at a high clip, like other coaches might hold you back a little bit, but he has not done that. And there's I don't know the word that I'm looking for, there's a freedom that you give a player when you give him that type of confidence, and you can see it. And extremely happy for him because I watched him younger and see him as he came into the league, and people were always like, well, how's he gonna fit in? What's he gonna do here? And sometimes it's like, yo, my man is a hooper. Just like sign me up because he can hoop. And I think that's what they've done here, and to their credit, they've identified a hell of a player because I'm a fan. I like what he does.
With his ability to be able to play the 1 through the 4 position, I'm talking about Amen Thompson.
Yeah.
How difficult is it to prepare for a player like him? And with you being playing in the league, have you seen anybody like him?
His brother. No. God. There have been obviously some players, but I would say like he's a little bit different because also they've allowed him to play point guard position, and that's a lot of trust that goes into that. And like I know he's been a wing player. I don't know that he ever played actually point guard, but at this level to play point guard, to get downhill, then to take into consideration the guys are going under, a lot of different things. Yeah, he's a player, man, and like these are the summers as he goes along. I think that if he continues to figure out what the positions that they're putting him in, you got to watch out because my man, he can hoop. You can play Amen Thompson from positions 1 through 4, and I'm pretty sure he probably could play the center position in dire need in spurts. But he's a point guard who can play small forward, who can play power forward, who can play shooting guard. And not only is he effective on the offensive end, look at what you get on the defensive end. Yes, I know that Victor Wenbamyama plays very, very, very good defense. I know that he blocks shots, but Victor Wenbamyama cannot hold 1 through 5 on the defensive end. You can't put him on a point guard and he'd be effective. You can't put him on a small forward and he'd be effective. You can't open up the floor and go 5 out and he still be effective. Sarge, what the hell are you talking about? Do you all really need for me to break this down and explain it to you? Do y'all really need me to explain how great Amen Thompson is on the defensive side of the floor? Just go back and look at some of his games. Just go back and look at how he affects the entire defensive end when he is on the floor. You know what that also does? There's a rising superstar in Jalen Green, right? And I'm fortunate enough to be able to cover the Houston Rockets, so I get a chance to talk to these players a lot. And Jalen and I had a conversation earlier this year at his locker, and I said, how much does having our men on the court, along with Tari and along with Dylan and along with Jabari, but having him on the court specifically, how much does that help you? And he says, Sarge, that helps out a lot. He says, because even though I'm playing defense, I know that I got somebody behind me that's gonna help me out a lot. Or I know that if they try to, do the switch, I know that, whoever he gets switched on to, he's going to be able to stop him. He's going to be effective. And that helps him preserve a lot of his energy for the offensive side of the ball. And so I get it. I understand. Houston Rockets fans, I know you wanted Victor here. I know you did. But what you were blessed with was pretty much a future top 5 star himself. When they start talking about that 2023 NBA draft and they mentioned Victor Wenbamyama, they won't be able to not mention Amen Thompson. They won't. When they start talking about how good Victor Wenbamyama is, they're going to have to talk about how good Amen Thompson is. Because once he develops an NBA jump shot, I don't know if he's going to be guardable. Wow. Sarge, did you just really say that? Yeah, I did. And I ain't afraid to say it. Because, I've told you all on numerous occasions, and I'll tell you again, my takes are old school takes, and they're oven takes, right?
What do you mean by oven takes, Sarge? I grew up in a time where we didn't have microwaves. We didn't have air fryers. We didn't have George Foreman grills. Rest in peace, George Foreman. We didn't have none of that stuff that got the food instantly. You had to cook the food. And sometimes when the food went in the oven, you had to wait for it to be done. No matter how hungry you were, you had to wait. And so it took time. So you had to develop patience and learn how to wait. But right now in today's society, everybody wants a microwavable meal. Everybody wants to throw something in the air fryer. Everybody wants to throw something on the grill. Everybody wants to throw something on the griddle. And it's just quick. How quickly can I get it? No. Sometimes you just need to wait on the food. It also tastes better. Make sure you subscribe to the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show on YouTube live Monday through Friday. Make sure you're also following me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with the Z. Follow me on the tick and the talk at Big Sarge Media. Follow me on Instagram at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Because you know we do everything for the gram. Big Sarge. I'm out. Oh, wait. Hold on. Go South Carolina Lady Gamecocks. Go Cougs. The University of Houston men's basketball team playing in the national championship game on Monday night. I can't do the Go Cougs symbol because I didn't graduate from the University of Houston, even though I guess through osmosis, because my wife graduated twice from the University of Houston, I guess I could do the Go Cougs, but I'm so old that I still remember when they used to go eat them up Cougs. So you can't do that no more. Don't worry about it. Go Cougs. Big Sarge. I'm out.
Big Sarge Sports shout out, world's oldest millennial.
PTI.